Hi folks, Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV. Thanks for watching. First and foremost, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's the second rule. Third rule, don't forget to ask for me. All right, now that we've covered that, let's get on with things. Today we're going to take a look at a coach I just took in on trade. It's a 2006 Monaco Signature 42 Chateau. Now the big thing with the 42 Chateau, well, first of all, everything's big, but 42 feet long, that's not the big thing. 600 horse Cummins ISX engine. That's a big thing. So I'm talking to you, all you race drivers out there that like to pull the big heavy trailers, or somebody that, you know, 450 or 500 horsepower just isn't enough, or maybe your buddy just bought a 500 and you want to show him who's boss. I got your baby right here. This coach is in gorgeous shape. It does have 118,000 miles on it. Now, some people may think, boy, that's a lot of miles, but think about it. It's a 13-year-old coach. The 2019s are out. It's a 2006 coach. It's not very many miles at all when you think about that. And the thing you need to know about this is that means it hasn't been setting. The hardest thing on equipment is when it sits unused. These folks use this. This is a one-owner coach. This coach was ordered from Monaco the way they wanted it. They also stored it indoors all the time, so the paint still looks great on the outside. This coach is in full working order, and it is gorgeous inside and out. So I'm going to walk you through it. There've been a lot of special modifications made. The folks that own this, I won't say his name. I almost did. I can't do that. Privacy rule. Very, very handy individuals. A little ornery, but absolutely, I know he's going to watch this video, absolutely took care of this bus like no other. I've been doing this for a long time now. I will tell you, it's rare when you see a coach that is this well cared for. I get one or two of these in a year where somebody just knew this coach inside and out. They did every bit of maintenance it ever needed. They made a lot of special modifications to make it their own, which is what you should do, and it shows in this coach. So I'm going to walk you through the highlights. I know I'll never hit everything that this coach has, but I think you'll get the point. First of all, there's been a lot of updates done. We have LED lighting throughout the coach. It certainly did not come with that from the factory, so they've made those upgrades. The TVs have been updated as well to a much more modern high definition television. This living room configuration has changed a little, and I want to talk about this. By the way, this video is going to be interesting because there's a lot of mirrors in this coach, and Tony tries to stay out of the camera shot. It's never going to happen on this one. We're going to get him in here at some point. Originally, this had a table that came out. It had a Corian top that went all the way across, and this was all one level. It did not change levels here. But what they found was, because of this height, it was actually, you didn't have enough room to set things or a drink or anything else because this was right up against here. So they put in the nice wood top. It matches perfectly, and a different wood top there, and they actually lowered that down. They had that professionally done, and if you didn't know what had been changed, you wouldn't know. Now, like everything with this coach, the previous owners kept the old materials in case they knew someday they'd trade it in or sell it, and in case whoever they traded or sold it to wants to put it back to factory, you absolutely can. I have a huge piece of Corian that runs the length of that slide that they traded in with it. By the way, thank you to the previous owner. That was fun to get out of here. Secondly, the table, also a nice Corian table. It attaches back in here, okay, and we still have that table. He included that with it. In fact, it's in the basement. We'll get to that in a little bit. The table could be put back in. They used folding tray tables and liked having this open space for other purposes. So, you know, I have what it takes to put it back to factory for you. So, just kind of depends on what the next owner wants. We're in it now. The generator purrs like a kitten. Both air conditioners are, 2 air conditioners are running right now. I think there's 3 up there if I'm not mistaken. And I've got 2 of them on, and it's nice and cool in this coach, and very, very comfortable. So we have a little kind of a chaise lounge sofa right here. This does fold out into a small bed. 2 leather Euro chairs with ottomans that are very comfortable. I was enjoying one until Tony made me get up and shoot a video. Multiplex lighting, now that was kind of new in 2006, but where you have all these different controls. Now these are for shades and awnings here, but you have these switch panels located throughout the coach, and you can turn on multiple areas of lighting. It's basically computer controlled lighting throughout the coach, whether it's your accent lighting or your main lights, whatever you want. Get a good shot of this polished porcelain tile floor. It's gorgeous. It's in pretty darn good shape for a 13-year-old floor. And then up front, there are some things to talk about. First thing is right here. This is not the seat that came in it. It matches, and you probably wouldn't realize that it's not. But don't worry, I do have the seat that came in it. It was only in this coach for about 2 weeks before the previous owner changed it out, and they put in an air seat. I have been doing this 15 years now. I've never seen an air seat. There's a nice airbag in here, and it's tied to the air system in the coach. So like right there, it went down, and now I'm back up and I'm floating. I know these existed in the over-the-road truck industry. I've just never seen them in our world before. This is a comfy seat to drive this coach from. I like this a lot. He included with it the tire pressure monitoring system, and it is fully functional. He even included the extra 4 probes that you can put on your tow vehicle. So whatever your tow is, this can keep an eye on those as well. So he included that with the coach. This is a trade-in, by the way. I mentioned the 600 horse engine. We have the adjustable foot pedals, and they're not the truck style pedals. They are actually the automotive style pedals on here. It does have the smart wheel where you can control some of your light controls, your cruise control, and your wiper blades without ever taking your hand off the wheel. Wonderful feature there. Now, I want to talk about this a little bit. This is a system called the Aladdin system. For those of you familiar with, on new coaches, they might call this a silver leaf or a spider system. Back in 2006, unless you spent over $500,000, you didn't get anything like this. But if you did get up over the $500,000 mark, which this coach originally stickered for over $600,000, you did get something like this. So I have control over here. I have a little joystick. Get a shot of this, Tony, right over here on the driver's left. That's the control for the Aladdin system. Okay, kind of like having a little computer mouse. And then I can control it on this screen right here. So I can go to engine and trans settings and bump it once to the right, and it's telling me I'm running 700 RPMs, it's 134 degrees, all good information there. Go back to the main menu, it tells me what type of power is coming in off my gen set, how many amps we're getting from the solar charge. That's pretty neat. Tanks. There's what's in your holding tanks. Without ever leaving the driver's seat here, I'm getting all of this information. So you can scroll down through here. Camera select is nice. There's the rear camera. And we'll get Tony on screen here in just a second. Uh-oh, what'd I do? I broke it. See, I'm not very good with the system. Oh, I know what it is. There we go. Look at that. Now we got Tony on there. So, but this coach is really in good working order, and it has a lot of neat things you wouldn't normally see. There is an early version of a GPS in here. They've never updated the discs to it, so I think that either you'd have to try to find some updated discs, which I don't know how successful you would be, or you might be better off to invest in a Garmin at this point. Who knows? Shades have been updated to MCD shades throughout most of the coach. These are power MCDs in the front up here. They left the silhouette shades in the main living area that it came with. I'll start going through some of the storage, but there's a lot here. So let's take a look. Nice little storage bin up here. All right, here's something I want to show you. Take a look at this. Here's a book that he kept from way back when he bought it. Here's some original fabric samples of what it came with, all the different components. There's the original 2006 Monaco signature brochure, the build order from where they had the coach built. I mean, this is the type of, if you're looking for a high-end diesel pusher without spending $500,000, in fact, we'll be under $200,000 on this coach. This is the type of meticulousness you want from the previous owner. So, or at least it's what I would want. Okay, nice little cubbies here. Nice oak, medium oak throughout the coach. There's a 6-disc CD changer up there. More storage all the way across the front. Okay. All right, another cubby there. One in the corner. All right, there's our Sony. That's been updated to a Blu-ray player. And then in this compartment, this is our main AV compartment. And first of all, it does have a Traveler satellite dish on it. I'm not sure if that's for Traveler for Direct or Dish Network, but we'll find out. It has two inverters, not one, but two inverters on this coach. So there's controls for both of those and auto generator start. There's your original home theater system in there. There's all kinds of hookups in here for your satellite dish and that type of thing. And he even put a fan in here because these cabinets tended to get a little hot. He put a little computer fan in here that is controllable and moves some air through. So that's pretty neat. Now you might ask, where's the TV in this? Hang on, keys on. Amateur hour. All right, here we go. Take a look at that. Now again, this originally came with a TV that was ridiculously heavy. It was an actual plasma because in '06 you just didn't have LEDs TVs. That has since been updated, and he put the biggest one he could possibly fit in there, and it fits nicely to a nice Sony. And then when you're not watching TV, it goes away. How slick is that? All right, moving on, we have storage across here. I'm sorry, I'm going to back up into the camera. Of course, I don't even think I have to say it. This is all solid wood. There's no wrapped wood. There's no plastic. This is all the real deal. These are the silhouette shades I mentioned. Those are also power. They liked those in here. They put MCD in the rest of them. Okay. Here's our kitchen storage. We'll get some shots of that. 30-inch convection microwave. Beautiful Corian work throughout. Okay. I love those faucets. A little old school, but so am I. Okay, let's lift up here. We actually have an undermount gas cooktop, 2-burner cooktop here. Not your typical cheapo gas RV stove. That's a nice little stove. Lots of countertop space, lots of workspace in here. Okay. Adjustable shelves here. This is all lined. Okay, let's take a look at some of the storage below. Oh, nice pull out there. Just a little cubby there, but big enough. Oh, I love that. You know, even on some of our higher end coaches today, you open this drawer and you see a little $2 plastic tray in there. How about that for a nice little work surface? More drawer there, another drawer there. Storage underneath. And we'll come out here to the end. Look at that, and nice drawer there. Wow, look at that. For your long items, you put your big spoon in there. Okay. Now, like I said, they took out the dinette. That can be put back in. I have all 4 chairs, 2 stationary, 2 folding chairs. This is all storage through here, and I'm not going to open all those because I've got some furniture in the way, but you can see the depth of them, and that's all the way around. You have this type of storage. All right, I will open some of these up top because there's nothing in the way there. Let you get that one. And then this opened on 3 sides, I think. All right. And then storage above. You know, RVers always want more and more storage, so by gosh, this coach has it. Okay. All right, so we've made it to midship. We have a big Whirlpool residential refrigerator. I love that little doodad from the previous owner. That keeps the doors from opening and going down the road. Nice side-by-side there. Now look at here, storage above. All right, big walk-through bath with a great shower. And that snapped. There we go. It's all Corian on the inside. Even the little soap holder and everything is Corian. It's just nice. This is just a different level coach. There is a skylight above you there, but it's covered with a vinyl cover now. Same way, there's a fantastic fan right here, and it's covered. Beautiful Corian sink. Look at the backsplash on there. That's all tile. Show you some storage underneath here. Look at those little drawers. That's neat. All right, I'm sure the bottom one's the same as the top two. Another little storage cubby here. And then, let's see. Oh, wow. There's more depth than you would suspect. Okay. And one more time on there. Lots of vanity space here. Across from the vanity, we have the bathroom. Tony, you're on your own. I can't both get in there, so it's just Tony. All right, we have a Bosch stackable washer dryer. Probably hookups up there. Yeah, circuit breakers and such up there. All right, oh, look at these cabinets. Oh, that's a nice little, like, I would use that for like a little linen closet. You're right here next to the bathroom. You could roll up towels and put right in there. How slick is that? All right, moving into the bedroom. We have a nice queen size bed. That's a Tempur-Pedic mattress on there. That camera where we showed Tony on up front, that can actually be controlled back here as well as the rest of your Aladdin system. There's a little screen right down there underneath. There we go. So you can look at your camera. If you heard something go bump in the night, you can look around at all your outside cameras and everything and control all those coach controls that I was controlling in the dash area. You can control them here. We do have storage under the bed. Let's see if I can access that. There we go. Just a little bit, not a ton. Tremendous storage up and around. Look at the ceiling fan. Very nice. Now, I get started in here. It goes to kind of show you not what kind of storage we have, but what type of owners the previous owners were. I think it's this drawer right here. Oh boy, here we go. Look at this drawer full of goodies. Previous owner had a habit that when something broke or he knew of any problems that Monaco might have with things, you know, on a regular basis, he would stock up on components. So a lot of times he wouldn't order one component, he would order two, just in case it ever went out again. So all of the stuff that's in here is good, useful stuff in the event that you need it. So the Aladdin computer system, long since outdated, okay? There it is, okay? Extra Monaco emblem can come in handy. This is the module that goes with the Aladdin that tells you how much is in your holding tanks. If that would ever go out, there's a spare. Little things like that throughout. The step motors sometimes go out because they're exposed. There's a brand new step motor in the bag, ready to go. So if it ever went out, he could put one in with just looks like three, 4 bolts. You're good to go. Little mirrors, camera for a mirror. You know, I mean, just little spare parts that you wouldn't think about. There's your tire pressure monitoring system for the Toad. Those are the ones that go on your tow vehicle. Little things you wouldn't think about that he had spares of, whether it's pieces of trim, little computer boards. There's just a whole drawer full of it here, and every bit of it is useful. And heck, some of it I probably don't know what it is, but the previous owner would be willing to talk to anyone who bought this coach. If, you know, we're not going to bug the heck out of him, but if you had a question, he would gladly answer that for you. Oh, here's an interesting one. Here's a piece of the outside sidewall. Now when we get to the outside, you'll see this coach is beautiful on the outside. There's no missing hunks out of it. But at one time he did blow a tire, and when you blow a tire on an RV, sometimes it takes some chunks of fiberglass with you. Well, this is a chunk of the fiberglass, nice thick glass by the way, but it also had I'm upside down, I'm sorry. It also had the state of Washington numbers on here, the Monaco coach manufacturer number, some of the tags that were originally on the coach that didn't get put back on it when it was repainted with this little area there. So nice little deal there that it's actually included in that. And like I said, when we get to the outside, you'll see you could never, if that wasn't in there, you would never know. But at one point they did blow a tire. So there is in the basement, or actually not in the basement, I've stored them elsewhere outside the coach. I have there's Girard awnings all over the outside of this coach. For the slide toppers, for the window awnings, I have extra fabric for all of it. He had some stitching coming undone on it, and or talked to Girard, they sent him new fabrics out, but then he ended up just having the stitching redone on the old ones, and they look perfect. The ones that are on this coach look perfect because they did use a marine grade stitch on them, and they just look wonderful. But there's spare fabrics for all of it if you need it. So I have a huge piece of Corian, a dinette table, spare awning fabrics for all of it, and a spare driver's seat that was only in the coach for 2 weeks because we replaced it with an air seat. So how awesome is that? Let's open this back closet here. Yeah, sorry, Tony, you're not going to stay out of the shot for long. Okay, here's our 2 dinette chairs, and there's the Corian that's used in the dinette. And back in there a little further, here I'll open the closet the other way, are the 2 folding chairs. I stuck those in there as well. There they are, and you can see they match the other. Great rear closet, lots of storage space in there, and of course there's a nice light in there also. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get the slides closed real quick. We're going to take a look. This coach is very spacious with the slide outs in. By the way, there are 4 slides. Very spacious with the slide outs in. I'll show you that in just a second. All right, I'm all the way at the back of the coach sitting on the bed. Nice aisleway through here, good space with this, and I think that's one of the reasons they took the dinette out. They never said that to me, but I kind of felt that way. With the dinette table here, this would be a little tighter, even though it's not a huge table and it does recess back into there a little bit. I still think that's a little bit of a choke point there, and perhaps that's why they took it out. I don't know that, but I'm speculating there a little bit. But as of right now, you can see I can walk through here without turning sideways all the way through the coach. So isn't that nice? So that's what kind of space you have going down the road. Oh, while we're up here, I almost forgot another feature. It's gonna be hard for you to shoot, Tony, but see if you can get a shot of that guy right down there. There it is, foot activated right there. That is a foot activated Jake brake. That's new to me. I've heard tell that old coaches used to have that. This didn't come in the coach. He had it put on. These folks were really big at the Monaco rallies and stuff. They were like hosts for the Monaco club. And so he would get to know the guys that put on all these extras. And that's one of the little extras that was added to it. So your Jake brake, instead of just coming on, most of the time your Jake brake on a coach comes on, or engine brake comes on when you let off the gas. He didn't want it coming on till he wanted it coming on, so he put a little foot switch in there. You can activate it when you want to use the Jake brake. Now, of course, your Jake brake is used to keep you from overspeeding coming down a mountain. If you're going down a good grade, you know, this coach weighs 42,000 pounds. It's pretty easy to pick up some speed, and you certainly don't want to ride your brakes coming down a mountain, because eventually your brakes will get hot and then they will fail. So your Jake brake uses your engine and transmission to kind of pull you down nice and smoothly without ever heating up your brakes. So then if you did ever have to stop quickly, you could, because your brake pads are nice and cool and ready to go. So that's one feature I missed, and I didn't want to leave that out. All right, let's check out the outside. Okay, I'm inside the coach. Tony's on the outside showing you that beautiful huge generator. But one of the things I wanted to demonstrate, sorry Tony, I had to, this thing has an unbelievable air horn on it. I think Tony just peed a little. This is not a factory air horn. The previous owner was very proud of this, and he did that to me, and he did ask me if I was ready. I wasn't nice enough to do that to Tony. There it is. He did at least ask me, and I thought I was ready, and then he hit it and I wasn't. As the previous owner said, when somebody pulled out in front of him, by golly, they knew it before it was over with. So outstanding air horn. Everything about this coach is very, very manly, so we like that. All right, 12,500. You know, a smaller diesel coach might have a 6,000 diesel gen in it. Back in 06, there were still some propane generators out there. You know, an 8K was a big diesel gen in 06. 10K was almost unheard of. 12,500 kilowatt. That is impressive. So that's the big boy generator. That'll power all 3 air conditioners. Runs like a champ. It's running right now, and it's very, very quiet. So we'll go over to this side, work our way around. We do have backup and side cameras on this coach. You can fill the fuel from either side. Tires, one of the big things when you're looking at buying an older diesel, one of the huge expenses, because these tires can run anywhere from $600 to $800 a tire, one of the huge expenses is the tires. A lot of times we'll have tires on that are 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and you have to wonder about it. The tires are all less than 2 years old on this coach. How about that? And by the way, they're Michelin, so great rubber all the way around. This is built on the Roadmaster chassis. Roadmaster was a proprietary chassis with Monaco. This was their RR10 chassis. The number 10 indicates the number of airbags. Today, a coach generally has 4 or 6 airbags. Monaco was really big on their 10 airbag chassis, or 8 airbag if it didn't have a tag axle. The nice part about that chassis is they mount those airbags really far outward. Normally airbags are mounted right at the frame rail, just usually outside the frame rail. And from here, that would be, you know, 18 inches that way. These are mounted very, very much outboard, and it just takes all the body roll out of the coach. The Monacos definitely had less body roll to them. You can actually see an airbag right there if you want to see it in front of and in back of the tire. So that's what an airbag on a motorhome looks like. Normally they're so far in there I can't show those. You can tell beautiful tires and wheels on this coach. So moving back, you do have a fuel tank. It is accessible to be filled from either side. There it is, and your propane bottle as well. Also, your aqua hot boiler antifreeze is right there for refill. Now you may say, boy, this coach is still full of stuff, and you would be 100% right. It is. No way do I have a place to store this. It was suggested that my office might be a good place. I'm resisting that. Everything on here is useful. This is stuff that came with the coach. He had it stored either in the coach or in his basement, and it's all useful. I mean, there's a spare alternator sitting right there. Extra, you know, awning motors and awning fabrics and little components and parts that you may someday need with this coach. They're here. I mean, all the common parts that tend to go out, he had spares of, and he included them with the coach. So here's, I mentioned all those awning fabrics. They've never been on the coach. They're brand new. I mean, look at that. That's brand new awning fabric. That cost you $500 to $1,000 per awning for these fabrics. And they're all here, and the ones that are on the coach are in outstanding shape as well. Again, we have Girard awnings. There's 2 awnings at the very top rail there, and then we have slide toppers, door awning, and window awnings, all from Girard. We'll try to get a shot with those opened up. Here's our fresh water tank and our aqua hot controller. This is one thing I need to mention. It is an aqua hot system. What does aqua hot mean? Well, aqua hot is hydronic heating. If you're not familiar with hydronic heating, if you're watching this on YouTube, go to our webpage, www.mountcomfortrv.com. And next to this video, if you punch in this stock number, which Tony's going to flash up on the screen right about now, if you punch in that stock number, see, I don't have these things memorized, into our page at mountcomfortrv.com, it'll take you to a link to this motorhome where you'll have all the pictures, you'll have pricing on there, you'll have the link to this video as well as another video, which is the hydronic heating video. So they'll both be on there, and you can watch a video dedicated strictly to how a hydronic heating system works. Long story short, that is the heat for your coach and the heat for your water, and it's unlimited hot water, which most of the time you have either like a 6-gallon or a 10-gallon water heater on a motorhome. That's a very quick shower. You can take a long shower in this one. You can see tag axle, as we talked about. The batteries are all new in this coach. So I think we skipped over that up here. I apologize. Look at these. These are AGMs for the house side. Big boys. Those batteries are ridiculously expensive. There's a spare drive belt in there as well. I'm looking at that. Brand new AGM batteries. I think he told me he spent $6 grand putting batteries on this coach. So that's tires and batteries you don't have to worry about. It's done. It's ready to go. They weren't really planning on trading yet. They just decided to do that. They had put a bunch of money in it, planning on keeping it. And he even told me, well, if I'd have known a year ago I was going to trade it, I would have done things a little differently. Well, he didn't know, but that's what happened. So come to the back. This is where a lot of you, whoever buys this coach is probably going to be a horsepower nut. You know who you are. There it is, 600 horsepower Cummins ISX engine. I believe the torque on this thing is 1,850 foot-pounds if memory serves correct. That's what you're looking at on this bad boy. That is more horsepower than anybody needs, but there's needs and there's wants. I think we know where this one falls. It is a side radiator coach, so all your cooling's done over here. That gives you great access to the engine in case you ever would need to change a belt. Again, you can see you can get a good shot of your airbags there. Again, they're just in front and in back of every tire. Come back here where most coaches use plastic in here. This is all stainless. How gorgeous is that? Power hose reel, power cord reel. It has a macerator built in. Got your little paper towel holder up there. Okay, there's a water manifold system. Now what the water manifold system does is this gives you usability of your coach in case there's ever a leak in the plumbing system. A perfect example, let's say you develop a leak under the sink in the bathroom. It's leaking like crazy under there. On a normal coach, you have to shut down all the water and you're really gonna have trouble using your coach because it's leaking. On this coach, you can shut down just that the water going to just that bathroom sink, okay? And the rest of the coach is still very usable until you get a chance to get that repaired under the bathroom sink. So it's a neat system. You used to see it on some very, again, $500,000 on up coaches. You used to see that every now and then. You don't really see it anymore. These are called panographic doors. These are neat the way they open and close. They go straight up. They're a bus style door. And the nice part about it is if this door's standing out here like this, I have to bend under it to get to this. When they go up like that, they're very easy to get to. I told you we have 2 inverters. There it is. This also has a surge protector transfer switch built into it. So that's all there. One step further, this is another add-on by the previous owner. This coach has a residential style water softening system in it. They didn't like the fact that you have some questionable water sometimes. Well, sometimes it's not questionable at all, but you have some questionable water sometimes in the campground. This takes care of that. I notice he's got a little heat duct blowing right on it. So that's outstanding. Here we have a pull-out tray, again full of extra goodies. The table is back in there on one of the, I can see the table. There's the, you ask about the dinette table, there it is. So that's all on these storage trays. Whoever buys this, again, you've got the extra components you need in the future, maybe. Maybe you need them, maybe you don't, but it's better to have them and not need them than vice versa. We'll come on up here to the chassis portion of the coach. Take a look at the wiring in there. Look how neat it is. I always love the way they did this. Just everything, those wires are labeled. It's written right on the wires. There's a lot of components in there, and I'm not saying I would enjoy playing in here, but at least when everything's labeled and neat, you can tell what you're doing if you ever did need to work on anything. All right, let me take a minute. I'm going to try to get the awnings all open. Okay, our awnings are out. Before we show you the other side, there's 2 things I needed to tell everybody with this coach. I know of 2 things that aren't quite perfect on it. First of all, this keypad right here does not work. This was kind of a notorious thing with Monaco. They had trouble with these. The parts have been discontinued, so you can't punch in your number and unlock the door. That's the bad news. The good news is it does come with a key fob that will not only unlock the door, it will also unlock all of your baggage doors, so you can do that with the key fob. So you're really not going to miss that, but I did want to tell you that. The other thing is the fuel gauge on this coach. The previous owner made it very clear to me that a quarter tank is empty. Don't find that out the hard way. When you get to a quarter tank, well, first of all, don't get to a quarter tank. At about a half a tank, you can go about another 200 miles, he said. So that's what you're looking at on there. So when you get to a quarter tank, you're going to be pushing it and weighs 42,000 pounds. So good luck with that. So those two things I want to make sure we noted on here. Take a look at the beautiful awnings. Not only are they Girard main awnings and the whole side of your coach, you're in the shade, but also your slide toppers and your window awnings are also Girard awnings. And like I said, they're just in excellent shape. And by the way, you've got spare fabrics for all of them, like I said. We'll come around to the other side. Two more window awnings over here. All right, that's it. I hope you're as impressed with this coach as I am. For somebody that needs that huge engine, and really wants to, maybe you're pulling something heavy behind it, maybe you just want to eat everybody up in the mountains. I don't care what your motivations are. You're looking for that high-end coach, but you don't want to spend $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. How about spending under $200,000 getting into a Monaco SIG with a 600 horsepower engine on it, with a tag axle, 3 roof air conditioners, 12.5 generator, you know all the rest. Call me. Let me know what questions you might have on this. We'll get you answers for them. We'll make sure all the RV systems and appliances are in good working order before you take it home with you. You'll see them operate with your own 2 eyes. There's no such thing as a 13-year-old diesel that doesn't require some maintenance and upkeep and stuff like that. But this one has the spare components there, the spare parts there that will make that job just that much easier. Like I said, the previous owner, whoever does buy this, the previous owner, will be glad to answer any questions for you, because I assure you, I've tried to learn this coach, but nobody knows this coach like he does. Thanks for watching. Chris Anderson, Mount Comfort RV. Come see me.